everyone, welcome to Lockdown Lick number 4. My name is Ross Campbell, in case you're new here. So if you watched the Lockdown Lick number 3, you've probably noticed that today's lick number 4 is very similar indeed. In fact, it's really just the first half of the lick that is different, but it really is quite different. And it's played over the same crosscut saw backing track in the key of G. And just so you guys know, that backing track is available in the extras section of my website. So if you're a member, if you're subscribed to bulletproofguitarplayer.com already, then you don't need to do anything else to access those bonus materials. They are included as part of your subscription, and they also include the tab files, including PDF sheets and guitar profiles for all Lockdown licks. And of course, this is going to be updated as I release more of these Lockdown licks. How many times have I said Lockdown licks now? Anyway, if you're not subscribed to the website already, feel free to check it out via the link in the description box. And let's get on with today's lesson. So, like I said, it's played over the same crosscut saw backing track in the key of G, and it's played over the same chord changes, right? We're moving from the 1 chord to the 4 chord, which in this key means moving from G7 to C7. And we're going to break the lick down into 2 parts, mainly focusing on the first half because I think I mentioned already that the second half of this lick is exactly the same as the second half of lick number 3, which we looked at a couple of weeks ago. So why don't we actually just recap on lick number 3, which went like this. Okay, so the first half of that was a descending sort of G Mixolydian run. And the second half was this thing that leads you into a specific voicing of a C7 chord. This voicing to be exact. So that's the second half of the lick, the second half of both licks number 3 and 4. So if you've not watched lick number 3 already, pause this video, go and watch that, learn that lick, and then come back here. So yeah, we're going to break down part 1 of lick number 4 today and join that up with part 2. But first, before we do that, let's listen to this lick a couple more times. And I'm also going to show you guys a shot of my picking hand so that you can see exactly what's going on with regards to the picking pattern that I'm using. Of course, using the hybrid picking, or also known as the chicken picking technique, to play this lick. So if you want to study and learn the exact way that I have played it, then feel free to watch that clip as many times as you'd like to. But without further ado, here's the lick a couple more times. Okay, so the first half of this lick, unlike lick number 3, is not a descending G Mixolydian run, it's a descending G half-whole diminished run. Now, if you don't know anything about the half-whole diminished scale, it has 8 notes, and it's what you would call a symmetrical scale, which means that it's constructed from a repeating interval pattern of semitone tone. So on one string, that would look and sound like this. You start with a semitone, then a tone, then a semitone, then a tone, so on and so forth. So we're essentially going to be descending that scale, strictly descending. We're not doing anything like thirds or fourths. We're just descending the scale from the root note at fret 3 on the high E string. That's our starting point for the run, and then we're going to end at fret 4 on the A string, which is the flat 5 of G. So we're starting on the root note, and ending on the flat 5. And we are incorporating some open strings into this lick, as you might have noticed already. But for now, let's just listen to the descending scale run, this descending half-whole diminished scale run. Let's listen to it without any open strings. So we're just going to fret every single note. So that would sound and look like this. Okay, and here's what it sounds like with the open strings. Okay, so there's 3 points here where we can include open strings. So if we go down the fretted version again, there's 1. That's the note E. So of course we can play an open E string in place of this note at fret 5 on the B string. If we continue on down the scale, here's the second point we can incorporate an open string because this is the note B, of course. So instead of fretting this note, we can pluck the open B string. And we continue on again. What note is that? It's the note G. So we can play an open G string instead of a fretted G at fret 5 on the D string. Okay, so that's all of the open strings covered. That's really all there is to it. Instead of playing a fretted E at fret 5 on the B string, I am playing an open E string. Instead of playing a fretted B on the G string, I am playing the open B string. And instead of playing a fretted G on the D string, I'm playing the open G. So you kind of have this repeating pattern here of like if you just take that pattern on the high E and B strings and then just move it to the B and G and then to the G and D, it's very, very similar, but it is actually a half-whole diminished scale run. Then to finish the run, we're gonna pick fret 3 on the D string and slide down to 2. And then we're gonna pick 5 on the A string and pull off to 4. Now, I know what you're thinking. Fret 5 on the A string, that's the note D, so why are you not playing an open D string? Well, for me personally, it doesn't feel that comfortable and it doesn't sound that great if I play the open D string in place of the fretted one. I mean, I guess it sounds alright, you could do that if you wanted to, but I just prefer keeping it to the open high E, B and G strings. And then just pulling off from that fretted D to the flat 5. Okay, so that was part 1 of the lick. Then part 2. As I said, it's exactly the same as part 2 of lick number 3, which we looked at a couple of weeks ago. So if you want to go and study that lick, then you're free to do so, right? It's on my channel, so why wouldn't you go and learn it? But basically, it's just outlining. It's a nice way of outlining a C7 chord. This specific voicing, root, 3rd, 7th, root again. So as I said in the last lockdown lick video, it sounds good to let those notes ring out into each other. So let's listen to that combined with part 1 with the half-whole diminished run. compared to lick number 3. Cool, so lick 4 is obviously much more of an outside sound because of that half-hold diminished scale. And the half-hold diminished is something that you'll hear players like Robin Ford use quite sparingly, to be honest. Robin Ford, you know, he sticks to, I feel like he sticks to mostly inside, I guess, scale runs for a lot of his solos. You know, it's mixolydian, major pentatonic, minor pentatonic, but occasionally, to spice things up, he'll throw in something exotic like the whole tone scale or the half whole diminished when he's moving from a 1 chord to a 4 chord in a blues progression. So yeah, the half whole diminished scale is a great tool to have at your disposal if you feel like adding a bit of heat to a blues solo. And I actually have a video on my channel already about Robin Ford and his use of the half whole diminished scale. That's already on my channel, so I guess I'll add a card in so you can go and watch that if you want to, if you want something else to study during lockdown. As I said before at the beginning of the video, the backing tracks and tab files for all lockdown licks are available in the extras section of bulletproofguitarplayer.com. Links are in the description box. And of course, I'm going to be updating that section of the site with more tabs and backing tracks as I release more and more lockdown licks. I really hope that you guys are enjoying these videos. I hope that you guys are coping all right. I am so bored at the minute. It's taken me like 6 weeks to get to this point, but I'm a bit fed up, much like everyone else. But, you know, life could be a lot worse, so I really don't have much to complain about. Yeah, if you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up, share it with guitar playing friends who, you know, are in need of something new to learn, and click subscribe and the notifications bell as well to never miss a new video. My name's been Ross Campbell, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.